Hello everyone. Today we are going to cover some amazing traps in Italian game. So let's start. Let's start with Italian game which starts with e4, e5, knight to f3, knight to c6, bishop to c4, bishop to c5 and castles by white. And black goes knight to f6, white goes d4 attacking the bishop and the pawn. So bishop takes d4, knight takes d4, knight takes d4 and knight takes d4, bishop to g5 pinning the knight, h6 kicking away the bishop, bishop to h4, g5 further kicking away the bishop, and here we will push our f pawn to f4. Here if g takes f4 then we can capture the pawn with the rook. Rook takes f4. The point is if e takes f4 then queen takes d4, queen takes d4 attacking the knight with two different pieces. So you will win a knight on the next move for sure. And further if black castles we can take the knight hitting the queen. Queen has only one square, e8, then we can go bishop to h8 and the checkmate is unstoppable. So only thing black can do is cover that square with queen e5. We can take the queen and black plays any move, suppose d6, then we can deliver a checkmate at g7. Now let's take a look at another trap starts which is called Ivan's Gambit. Many of you must be familiar with this trap which starts with e4, e5, knight to f3, knight to c6, bishop to c4, bishop to c5, b4 attacking the. If bishop takes b4 then we can push our pawn to c3 again attacking that bishop. If bishop goes to c5 then we can simply castles and black plays a developing move, suppose knight to f6, then we can strike in the center with d4 hitting the bishop and the pawn. E takes d4, c takes d4 hitting the bishop and black has to react to that. So bishop to b6, then we can simply push our e5 pawn. If d5 is played counter attacking our bishop, then we can simply take the knight at f6, pawn takes c4, our bishop at c4, we give a check from e1 with the rook. If black tries to block that check then we can simply push and win that bishop. So the best move for the king is f8. We can simply give a check with bishop from a3 to g8, d5 attacking the knight. So we can use the e7 square, knight goes anywhere, suppose a5, then we can attack the queen with our bishop at e5. Queen moves, then we can simply take the g7 pawn attacking the rook. So king takes g7, queen d2, threatening to give a check at g4, sorry not g4, g5, threatening to checkmate the black at g5. So black has to cover it, then we can simply go to queen c3 check, king to g8, queen takes rook at h8, king takes h8, bishop f6 check, queen g7 and rook to e8 checkmate. If you are enjoying this video and learning some traps, please hit a like button and subscribe to the channel. And let's move to the next trap. Starts with e4, e5, knight to f3, knight to c6, bishop to c4, bishop to c5 and c3, trying to conquer the center. So knight to f6, d4, e takes d4, c takes d4, bishop to b4 check, knight to c3, knight to e4, attacking the knight, castles, bishop takes c3, d5, attacking the knight. So knight has to move. Suppose knight to e5, then b takes c3, knight takes bishop at c4, queen d4, forking the both knights, knight to c d6, queen takes g7, queen f6, defending the rook, queen takes queen at f6, knight takes f6, rook e1 check, blocks the knight. Then we can simply go to knight to d2, f5, f3, castles, and we can win that knight easily. And if king goes to d8, then we can simply take out our bishop at g5, pinning the knight, knight to e8, defending the knight, rook takes e8. So the knight cannot move, but knight cannot move, it is pinned. So rook, king takes e8, rook e1 check, king f8, bishop to h6 check, rook to e5, d6, and rook g5 checkmate. Let's take a look at another trap. Starts with e4, e5, knight to f3, knight to c6, bishop to c4, bishop to c5, b4. It's a e1's gambit. Bishop takes e4, c3, hitting the bishop, bishop to c5, d4, attacking the bishop and the pawn, e takes d4, castles, d takes c3, bishop take f7, king takes f7. Now king has no castling right, queen to d5 check, king f8, queen takes bishop at c5, d6 covering the check, and queen to c3. So it's really effective trap, you must try. Now let's take a look at another trap. Starts with e4, e5, knight to f3, knight to c6, bishop to c4, knight to f6, knight to g5, hitting that f7 pawn. So d5, e takes d5. If knight takes d5, then we'll simply sacrifice our knight at knight to f7, king takes f7, queen to f3 check. The only thing which can save the knight at d5 is king to e6. Then we can continue our attack with knight to c3, further developing the attack on that knight. Knight to b4, defending with castles, knight takes c2, bishop take d5, king to d6, bishop to b3, hitting the knight, knight to d4, hitting our and the bishop. We simply give a check at d5, king to e7, queen takes e5, bishop to e6, bishop takes e6, knight takes e6, rook e1, further putting pressure on that knight, queen d7 defending, d4, king f7 unpinning, queen e5, queen g8 and rook to e, rook take e6. So these are the Italian trap you can try. So for more videos and for more traps, please subscribe my channel and hit a like button. Thank you and see you in the next video.